All right, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Club with BK and Speaks.
Let's go.
It's the start of season 2 here, Speaks.
It is, man. We made it a full season. Season 2, episode 1 in the new season. Let's get after
A
it.
lot to be excited about after last season, I'll tell you what.
Boy, isn't there ever. I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one again this year, Speaks. Right out of the gates, I mean, we have to have the episode where we go over our predictions, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how we start things off.
Yeah, we got to look at, our predictions, get into the games a little bit on why we think we're going to win or lose that game, and set our season predictions.
Yeah, let's get after it. Week 1, Detroit Lions versus the Los Angeles Rams. A little rematch for last year's playoff game. This is going to be a fun one.
Ooh, high stakes right out of the gates here, Speaks.
Yeah, nighttime game, baby.
Stafford coming back to Detroit for a nighttime game to start the season.
I love it.
Betting line for the game is Lions are -3.5, which means the Lions would have to win by 4 in order to get you that line there. And then the over-under on the points is set at 51. Speaks, I think the Lions are going to win this one, and I think it's going to be an absolute shootout. A home night game in Detroit. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch, and I think the Lions' offense shines, and they end up pulling out the win.
Yeah, I mean, we won by 1 point last year in the playoffs, so I think it's going to be a close game. I think we are going to win more than 3.5 points. This is going to be a crazy atmosphere. Sean McVay said it. Stafford said it. Goff has said it. That atmosphere last year in last year's playoff game was the loudest stadium any of those guys have ever played in, and I expect more of that and then some in this game. So I think the Lions are going to take this one, and we're going to start the season off strong.
Ooh, right on primetime, Sunday Night Football?
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
I love it. So we both got a win there.
Yes.
Let's dive into week 2. Another playoff matchup. You got to love what the NFL is doing to the Lions here. Like, just get right into it. Lions will host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'll be on the 15th of September. Betting line for this one: Lions are favored by 5.5 points again. Over under set at 48.5. I think the Lions win again. And I don't know about the over-under on this one. I just don't know what I'm going to see with Tampa Bay yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you don't know what you're getting with them yet.
They were streaky last year. I think, they played us tough. They're a good team. I think the Lions pull it off with having the home environment, but Tampa's going to come and bring it like they always do.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa's no slouch. I mean, they're a damn good football team. They're coached very well. Baker, I think, might have found a home in Tampa Bay.
Looked clean there last year.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great game against us, really. I mean, besides, I think it was Barnes who picked him off at the end there. But, I mean, I think we win this game. I think we win it pretty sure-handedly. I mean, we got Yakona back. So I think we're going to win this one.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. So we're 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 right here.
The excitement's at an all-time high. You love to see it. Entering into week 3, first road game of the year. We're going to go to Arizona and take on the Arizona Cardinals. Lions are favored once again by 4 points, and the over-under set at 50. Speaks, I think this thing is going to be a high-flying shootout.
It's going to be a high-flying shootout.
It's going to be down in Arizona on the turf, so you get the indoor environment for golf down there. And unfortunately for the Lions, Arizona has Kyler Murray, who is a mobile quarterback. And last year we had a ton of trouble stopping mobile quarterbacks. I expect both teams to be scoring pretty high in this game.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm going to take the Lions win and an over.
All right. Well, this is where I'm going to have our first loss, unfortunately. We never play good in Arizona. Like you already mentioned, we don't play good against running quarterbacks. Kyler Murray's going to be on a revenge tour this year, and I think we might be going into this game with a little too much confidence.
Okay.
I see us slipping. I rather slept early than late, so I think this is going to be one that we lose, unfortunately.
Okay. So you got them at 2-1 right now. I got them at 3-0. All right, cool. Entering into week 4, another familiar matchup where we always seem to have trouble.
Gosh, do we ever.
But another Monday Night Football game, prime time. You got to love seeing the Lions continue on prime time.
I love it.
Detroit Lions hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Lions have historically struggled with the Seahawks. Pete Carroll seems to have our number.
But he's not there anymore.
So that's a good sign.
That's a great sign.
So when we're looking at this one, the Lions are again favored by 6 points here, and the over-under set at 49. I think the Lions do finally win this one. They get the primetime game, home environment.
Are you ready for some football?
And the physical battle, it's going to be a physical battle versus Seattle.
Always against the Legion of Boom.
Always is. I think the Lions win, and I think I'm going to say an under on this one, Speaks.
Okay, yeah. I think we get back on track this week after, the loss that I predicted, and I think we finally get it done against Seattle. I mean, it's been many years coming, so I think we, show out for the fans on Monday night, prime time. America's watching, and I think we cover the spread on this one as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I would agree with that. And then they're entering into week 5. We get a nice little bye week here.
Early. We haven't had an early bye week in a while that I can remember.
No, not this early. And,
no.
And you look at it, and I'm not sure this is an advantage at all, Speaks.
No. You always want a later bye week to recovery as the season goes on. But thank you, NFL.
yeah. Thanks, Goodell. We really appreciate this one.
Thanks, man. We have the best draft that you can remember in recent years. I'm going to put them bye week 5.
Not even recent years ever.
Yeah, right.
So tough break, but we'll have the bye there on week 5. And then week 6, man, we come back to a big time matchup. Lions are going in.
The media wants us to be a big time matchup. I don't think there's shit over there anymore.
All right, well, the Lions will go into Dallas again to face Dallas Cowboys. This will be a 4:25 game, so I expect it's probably America's game of the week.
I'd expect Brady announcing this one.
Probably a big time game. Is a big time game on the schedule here. But the Lions are actually a half-point dog here for the first time this year, and the over-under is set at 48.5. I think the Lions go in there. That the Cowboys are going to get calls at their home field.
Oh, really?
Always do. But the Lions go in there. They're motivated from what happened last year. Got a sour taste in their mouth over that. They win a close one, and I think this is going to go over. I think both these offenses are going to be going up and down the field here. The sour taste, Lions end up pulling off the win.
Yeah, I mean, we have some redemption on this game. I think this is circled on all the players' calendars that were with us last year. I think we go in. We always play Dallas good. It's always a close game. We always have good games against one another. I do think we pull it out, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be over, though, as well.
Yeah, I mean, both offenses there seem like they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, as long as, CD's suited up.
Yeah, if CD doesn't suit up, that could.
I mean,
week
week
change
6,
that
I think Jerry, after a couple games, will get his shit together. So
maybe, we don't know.
We don't know.
Week 7 though, we're heading to Minnesota, taking on the Minnesota Vikings here. It'll be a 1:00 game. Betting line: Lions are 3-point favorites, and the over/under on this one is set at 48. Speaks, I honestly have no idea what Minnesota's going to do at quarterback. It sounds like it's going to be Sam Darnold. I don't know what Minnesota's got over there. They looked like they were going to have something. They don't really have something. I don't know what to see here. I know Jefferson's a problem for us.
He's a problem no matter what.
He's a problem no matter what. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be, but I think the Lions are going to win this one too. And I'm going to go with the under. I don't know how Minnesota's going to move the football this year, so that's my best guess.
This game would have been a lot more intriguing, and I would have been a lot more nervous if JJ didn't tear his meniscus. They got a guy over there in Minnesota who sees ghosts out on the field, and a little ghost. He's mic'd up talking about it. I'm not a fan of Sam Darnold. They're going to have to figure something else out over there because this is, if he even makes it to week 7, ladies and gentlemen, because Sam Darnold sucks. So with that being said, I think we blow the doors off the Vikings. I do think it will be under, but yeah, I think we win pretty sure handily.
Okay, so you got them right now at 5-1. I got them at 6-0 heading into Week 8. I'm thinking they're going to go off to a hot start here. Is kind of where I'm at.
But, I mean, I love it.
Yeah. Hot starts are good. Hot finishes are better.
They are.
Week 8, looking into Week 8 here, the Lions are going to host the Tennessee Titans. They're going to come to town. It's going to be a 1 p.m. game there. Lions are 7-point favorites, and the over-under there is set at 46.5. I think the Lions win, but I think it's going to be an under. For whatever reason, Tennessee every year plays very good defense.
Yeah, they do.
And it feels like they're going to come in and they're going to kind of shake some things up. It's going to kind of have the Lions offense stumble in there for a second, but I think the Lions are going to end up putting it back on track and get the win here.
Well, with Vrabel not being their head coach, I don't think their defense is honestly going to be as good. So I think we win this one pretty sure handily. I'm not concerned about Tennessee in any stretch of the imagination. So I think I go over. And
really?
I think Detroit handles this pretty easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So 6-1 and 8-0 or and 7-0 heading into this.
Yep.
Week 9 matchup. And the Detroit Lions are going to Green Bay to face the Packers there at Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
Again, we are 1.5-point dogs actually on this one.
Yep.
Over under set at 49. I think the Packers win, and it's going to be the under. The reason I say that is it's November.
It's going to be a bloodbath in the trenches.
In Lambeau, you know the weather's going to be cold. Goff doesn't really do great in the cold historically. I think the Packers win, and it's going to be tough to win there.
Well, BK, what happened last year when we played them? We split. We won on the road. They won on the road. I think the tides are turning this year, and I'd have to agree with you. I think we go into Lambeau, and we unfortunately lose this game. It's just a tall task every single year. The Green Bay Packers are going to have this circled on their calendar for the way we came in there and dominated that game last year on prime time. So this isn't a prime time game, but it's going to be a big game and
probably game of the week, 425.
I think it's going to be split just the opposite ways. I think we're going to win at home and they're going to win at home. So I would have to go under as well. I don't think it's going to be a lot of points scored. It's just going to be a big, real physical game.
Yep. So 7-1, 6-2.
Yep.
Entering into Week 10 here. Lions at the Houston Texans. This will be another night game, another prime time.
This will be a challenge.
Yeah, Lions are going to Houston. It's going to be the Sunday night football game at 8:20. And I think the Lions are going to go into Houston, and they're going to run into some problems with Houston's offense and the way that they play defense. I know they got Darnell Hunter over there now on the other side of Will Anderson. I think our offensive line is very good. We can hold up against them. But I think the Texans are going to score a lot of points, and they're going to end up winning in the shootout there on primetime.
All right. I mean, there definitely could happen. I mean, C.J. Stroud's the real deal. They got Diggs now. But I think we're going to rattle C.J. Stroud's cage a little bit. I think he's going to start off hot. We're going to figure him out. And he's going to get a little embarrassed on national television on Sunday night. I think we're going to pick him off a few times, sack him quite a few times. I see us winning this. I think it'll be a close game, but I think our experience and our leadership is going to carry through. Houston, they have a new coach now too, don't they?
No, it's still D'Amico Ryan.
Is it still D'Amico? Okay, yeah. So, I mean, either way, I think we win. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. I mean, Goff indoors is going to, lead to success with the offense there. I got it as the over too, but
yeah.
It's going to be a whale of a game, and it sounds like we're both at 7-2 heading into week 11 here, where the Lions are hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars, the 1 p.m. game. Lions favored again by 4 points, over under set at 50. I'm going to take the Lions in the under here. Jacksonville plays tough. Like, they're a tough team.
No, they're no slouch. They got a Super Bowl winning head coach over there.
Yeah, Super Bowl winning head coach. Trevor Lawrence is pretty decent. Travis Etienne, pretty solid.
Kirks, I think he's going to have a good year this year after being hurt.
Yeah, them losing Ingram, or not Ingram, but Ridley is going to hurt him.
That's going to hurt him. Someone's going to have to step up. So
Yeah, I would agree with that. And with that, though, I'm going to take the Lions. I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions. I'm going to take the under as well. Jacksonville, they're an exciting up-and-coming team, but they're not in our echelon yet. So I think we take care of them.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Week 12, looking into it, we're looking at the Lions taking on the Indianapolis Colts there in Indy. That's going to be a 1 p.m. kickoff, and the Lions are 2.5-point favorites with the over-under set at 48.5. I'm going to take the Lions in the over. I think this is going to be a physical game. I think the Lions are going to struggle a little bit because Anthony Richardson, if he's healthy, is a very good mobile quarterback. Again, we spoke of those troubles.
Yeah.
So I think we could struggle there. I think it's going to be the over. I think they're going to score points. I don't think Indy's going to be able to stop us, and I think we're going to win.
You took the words out of my mouth. You see what week this is? This is week 12. Richardson will not be there week 12, so we're not going to have to worry about him. I don't know who their backup is. They lost Minshew. He's over in Vegas, so I don't know who's going to play, but it won't be Richardson. I don't think he stays healthy again with the way he plays. So I think the Lions blow the doors off Indianapolis.
Really? Okay, so 9-2 and 9-2 entering into week 13, old classic Thanksgiving Day, 28th. 12:30 kickoff.
Let me down last year, Lions.
Struggle.
I was there.
We struggle notoriously on Thanksgiving for whatever reason. It's always been a problem for us. The betting line entering into this game versus the Bears is the Lions are favored by 4 points, and the over/under is set at 50 there. I think the Lions.
We're turning it around this year.
I think the Lions are getting the Bears at home this year. Finally, going to get us in good graces entering into our, Thanksgiving Day feast.
Yes.
I'm going to say we're going to win. I'm going to take the under. I think we rattle Caleb Williams in the first matchup.
I agree. I think we're going to – he says he doesn't get nervous. He's going to be nervous playing in the D-Town on Thanksgiving. The crowd is going to be rip-roaring and ready to go. Caleb Williams, sorry, you're going to be nervous on Thanksgiving Day, baby.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We're winning.
I think we're pulling it off, finally.
Yeah, same here.
Week 4.
Tide's turning.
Tide's turning on Thanksgiving, hopefully.
Yeah.
The gravy's turning.
The gravy's turning, baby. Let's go.
Week 14, we're looking into the matchup. It's going to be the Lions versus the Packers. We're getting the Packers coming in at home. This is kind of unique here, Speaks. I'm glad the NFL did this for us, is they went from a Thursday game to a Thursday game.
I like it.
Give us a whole week there. Kinda. It's okay. We don't rest for too long, but I guess in week 14 we would probably want to be resting.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know about this.
But the Lions are 2.5-point favorites in the game, and the over-under is set at 48. I think the Lions end up getting redemption here from the loss early on in the year at Lambeau. I think it's going to be a high shooting affair, a lot of points on the board. I'm going to say the Lions win it, and the over is going to hit here.
Yeah, I already said what I thought, was going to happen when we covered their first game with the Packers. It was going to be swapped this year. So, yeah, we're going to win this game at home.
Yeah, I think we're spot on with that. And now we're talking, I'm 11-2 heading into 14.
Yeah, I'm 11-2 as well.
Okay, we're both at 11-2.
Yeah, we just have two different losses.
Yep. All right, both 11-2 heading into 15 here. Lions are taking on the Buffalo Bills at home. 4:25 kickoff. I'm imagining this is going to be the game of the week, too.
Oh, yeah, this might be flex.
This might be the flex game of the week here. Lions, 2-point favorites over Josh Allen and the Bills. Over-under set at 50.5. Lions offense and the Bills' lack of weapons, I think, leads to a win here.
Same.
I do think the over is going to hit because Allen's a mobile quarterback, and we spoke of these problems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we sure have.
So it could be a bit of a toss-up here, but I'm going to take the Lions, and I think the Lions end up scoring a lot of points. I think Buffalo scores plenty of points and we end up getting it.
Yeah, I think we win this one. Like you said, we just have too many weapons. Buffalo doesn't quite have enough. Allen, he's going to do everything he can. It'll be a close game, but we're going to win.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're both on the same page with that.
Yep.
And then when we're looking at week 7 or week 16 here?
Week 16.
Week 16, diving into it. Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears, probably one of the last times they'll play at Soldier. I don't know. Is Soldier sticking around?
Yeah, it's up for debate. You hear something new every other month.
That's what it feels like.
I feel like they're probably going to move the stadium. It's just it's taking forever.
Yeah.
A lot of roadblocks.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think they got the young talent, though, and, they got a lot of weapons over there.
I think they want to move that stadium indoors, retractable roof style.
I mean, it's just tough to go outside with it, but I think it's going to be somewhat of a legacy game there for the Bears, too. I think the Bears are going to want to beat the Lions bad. Lions are the top dog, right? I think they'll probably enter into that game as the top dog. It's going to be a cold game, man. I mean, this is a couple days before Christmas on the 22nd. I think the Bears end up getting us in a trap game here because we're coming off of the win, I think, from the Bills.
Yeah.
And then they go into San Francisco next week. I think the Bears end up getting this one on us. And I think the under hits. I think we struggle with the cold weather.
I do not think we will struggle. I think Caleb Williams will struggle again versus us. I think we win this game pretty sure-handedly. The Bears, they have all kinds of weapons, and they have improved, but I still don't think they're in our echelon yet either. So I give us another win. So with that, you have 3 losses. I have 2.
Whew. Both expecting big things, it sounds like.
Yes.
Week 7, for good reason. I mean, the Lions were very good last year, and it seems to be an upward trend with how we're building this roster. Yeah, it's very exciting looking at it as a fan.
Yes, it is.
And then when we're talking about Week 17 here, right out of the gates, you got to look at it because we're playing the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. Another night game, Monday Night Football.
Let's go.
8:15 start. Lions are 4.5-point dogs in this game.
Unreal.
4.5-point dogs, and the over-under set at 49.5. I think, Lions are going to go into San Francisco with a bad taste in their mouth on what happened, in last year's playoffs. And I think the Lions are going to come in extremely motivated, and I think they end up winning in a shootout. I'm going to take the Lions and the over.
I think this is for sure going to be a shootout. We have a sour taste in our mouths. I have a sour taste in my mouth still. This is going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a high-scoring game. But I think we come out on top. We have to avenge last year, and if we don't do it in this game, then we're in trouble. So I think we win this.
Yeah, I think so too, and it'll give us great momentum entering into the playoffs.
Yep.
And honestly, this game will
determine a lot of things.
They might determine who has home field throughout the entirety of the playoffs.
This has big stakes written all over it.
Big stakes. 17 circles.
This is the real deal. This is the game that determines where we go after the rest of the season.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a great morale booster.
We need this to be like, all right, we're winning it.
This year we're in. Yeah. And then when you look at Week 18, closing it out, man, Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings. Again, don't know. Lions are 5.5-point favorites with it. Over-under set at 47. Lions are going to close out the year strong, entering into the playoffs. They might be resting people at this point if they have home field already. But I think the Lions are going to close it out strong, enter into the playoffs full force, and I'm going to take the over in this game too.
Yeah, I think we definitely take care of business, end the season versus Minnesota, give us a W. Like we said, we don't know who their quarterback's going to be. I don't think it will be Darnold by Week 18. I could even see Pittsburgh and them making a trade at some point and Russ going over there because I don't think he's going to be the starter in Pittsburgh, so that could be kind of intriguing.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Detroit handles business, and I'm going over.
Okay. So that gives you 2 losses on the season? 2
losses on the season.
So you're taking them at 15-2, and I'm taking them at 14-3.
Yeah.
Regardless of which way that goes, I believe We are both saying that they're going to win the NFC North again this year.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're going to continue to be the Kings there. And then we're also saying with that type of prediction that we're going to have home field throughout this playoff.
Yeah, I think we get the home field that we didn't get last year, and that'll propel us to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think there's a lot to be excited about when you're looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
And some of my main thoughts heading into this season, why I'm so excited and why I think this is going to, go this way, is I think the Lions defense is going to be tougher than it was last year.
100%. The additions we've made, DJ Reader, Carlton Davis, Amik Robinson. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, Terry and Arnold. I mean,
Davenport.
The list goes on, and they continue to build on the defense. I think the defense was obviously the weak spot last year.
100%.
You enter into this year, you have a better defense. This skill set on the defense could potentially be a top 10, top 15 unit. If they become a top 10, 15
I think they're going to be a top 5.
No,
that's my prediction.
I love it. If they perform that way, we're in some great shape to take care of this business. And
I'm
finally
high on this defense. I think Glenn's going to have these boys ready with the additions. He's done good with what he's had. Now he has what we've needed.
Yeah, I mean the skill is there.
The skill's there. It's just so it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, and I think when I'm looking at the MVP of this unit, who's going to have the biggest effect on how this unit goes as a whole? It's Hutch. It's Hutch, and I think he's going to get more sacks and more pressures this year.
He's going to have a big year
than he had last
year. I think he's going to get possible MVP votes.
You think he's going to go that high? I think he could get upwards of 17, 18 sacks.
I think he's right up there too. I think he's going after Strahan. Is it still Strahan's record? I think it is. I think Suggs, it was 0.5. They notched him down one.
Oh, Suggs?
Yeah.
Because I thought Suggs, but yeah,
I'm pretty sure
he'll compete.
Either way, those two are.
It'll be him and Watt if they both stay healthy, probably on the sack top.
I agree with that.
And I think he's going to have a bigger year because of the DJ Reader addition and putting him next to Aleem McNeil.
Exactly.
I mean, that's going to command a lot more attention.
Davenport's no slouch on the other side. No, he's completely under the radar, and I really like him a lot. Fiasco, he could, we have guys, man.
James
Houston. Man, we have some dogs.
Yeah, I think it's a time where the pass rush is really going to take a step forward, and it's going to lead to this defense being a lot better than it was.
Yeah,
and I think the player that I'm looking at that's probably, in my opinion, going to take a huge step forward this year is I'm thinking Jack Campbell, that linebacker that we drafted last year's draft, is going to have a massive season for us.
Such a smart player.
They say he's like a 7-year veteran presence. As a year 2 rookie at training camp.
Yeah.
They say he's reading plays. He knows where everything is supposed to go. The guy is very methodical in his approach.
Super reassuring.
Yeah, and it's I think, it's a situation with him and Anzalone where if they both start clicking.
Well, watch out.
That linebacker core is going to be good. The D-line is going to be good. Can the secondary hold up?
Yeah, exactly. Can the secondary hold up? And I think it will hold up. But, yeah, dude, I think our linebacker position room is, in a good spot.
Yeah, I think it's much better than it's been in the last probably 5 to 8 years.
Agreed.
And the consistency is the big thing. I think we're going to get there.
100%.
And then, man, we got to talk about this offense.
Let's get into it, baby.
This thing is going to be high flying again.
Juggernaut.
High flying.
Johnson's back.
Ben Johnson's back.
He could have went and been a head coach. He wanted the band to be back together, baby.
Band is together. He gets year 2 with Jahmyr Gibbs, so he knows how to work him into the offense a little bit more in the passing attack.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get Jameson Williams to break out after he had to, hold out a camp.
He's going to go over 1,000 yards, mark my words, and Gibbs is going to go 1,000 rushing and receiving this year.
Ooh, if he stays healthy, I don't think that's out of
I think it's going to happen. He's going to be one of the few running backs to do it, and I think it's going to be this year.
Well, and I think the other side of this, too, is everybody's focused on Gibbs. And Gibbs. Montgomery's still a workhorse. I think Mont's going to go for 1,010 TDs, too.
Mont put it into a new level last year. He averaged his most yards per carry than he did all year. The thing that I'm saying is why our offense is going to be so dynamic. Everyone's worried about this wide receiver 3 or wide receivers aren't that deep. Yeah, they are. We have Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs can work in as the wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
I think you make a good point there.
Yeah.
They talked about him being a receiver when he came out of the draft.
Exactly.
They said he has the ability to do the Christian McCaffrey type of situation.
And he does. He has that type of talent.
Yeah, and if they work that in, I think Ben Johnson can do that.
Exactly.
I don't think the
He's
wide
had a whole year to play with this.
Yeah, I don't think the wide receiver 3 is as big a problem as what people think.
No.
And then when I'm looking at the offense, I do think it's going to be a top 5 year too in all of the NFL. Like, this thing is high flying. The Lions are favored in 13 out of their 17 games this year, and they play indoors for most of the games this year, which leads to Goff's success. I think it's 14 games indoors, which is very
that bodes well for us.
Yes, exactly.
And how Goff, has played first inside versus outside. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when I'm looking at the MVP, who's going to be the MVP of this offense, Sam Laporta, I think, is going to be it.
Dude balled out last year as a rookie. He's only going to get better. I like that pick, DK. I mean, he's the unsung hero.
Yeah, I don't think they knew what they had with him until they got later in the year.
Yeah.
And or I think they knew it, but I think they were trying to incorporate him more into the offense. I think they're going to do a better job of that this offseason. I think he's going to play a bigger role with the wide receiver 3 being a question mark with Gibbs. And I think he's in for a better year than he had last year.
I think he's gonna have a bigger year than he did last year. Johnson's gonna put him in all the right spots. He's gonna be smarter. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, the offense is getting close to the Rams' old fastest show on turf
type
of situation.
Is. I love it.
And then the player that I think is going to take a huge step forward, you talked about it earlier, the guy's got the capabilities to go for 1,000 yards rushing and receiving. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is in for an absolutely massive year. I think he's going to take a bigger step forward than what he did last year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to say because he had a massive impact towards the end of the year. But I think with Reynolds leaving, I think him in the passing attack, I think what he's going to provide there with his running ability, it's going to be a show to watch with Gibbs this year.
Yeah, no, and I've already mentioned what I think Gibbs is going to do, or hoping he's going to do, 1,000 yards on both sides. So we saw the potential with him, right? But I think who's going to take a huge step forward that people might be a little bit indifferent about is Jameson Williams. I think he is going to take a huge step forward. We saw flashes towards the end of the year, but we saw more consistency with Gibbs, right? Well, this would be a huge step forward if he goes for over 1,000 yards and I think at least 5 to 7 TDs. So that's my guy who I think is going to take a huge step forward. And let's not forget about Branch moving to safety. He's going to be on the field more. That's going to be fun to watch too. So we got a lot of things to look forward to.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been this excited going into a Lions season.
I'm getting more excited every year with the way Holmes is drafted and bringing these dogs in.
And Dan Campbell's building up this culture, man. This thing.
I mean, where coaches are staying, the band's staying together. I mean, this is best case scenario.
Oh, the pieces are lining up.
It is.
It's time for us to take this
next script's written, baby.
Hopefully we're there. Hopefully we are the script this year.
Let's go.
But thanks for joining us here on Sports Flow with BK and Speaks. We'll be back to recap that Week 1 matchup and get into the Week 2 matchup there. Who do we got Week 2? Versus Tampa. So we'll get into that in a couple weeks. And thanks again. Till next time.